So the game you just saw is called Dots and Boxes. It's a childhood classic board game that most of you must have played it in your childhood. Basically, two players take a piece of paper, draw a grid of dots, and and take turns drawing lines between the dots. And whoever draws the last line that forms a box gets that box. And in the end, whoever gets the most amount of boxes wins the game. Ring any bells? Hmm? Anyways, this was the first big game that I did when I started game development, which was around 4 years back. On top of the base game, where basically two players play on the same phone, I also wanted to make an AI which would basically place the best possible move in the current situation. I also wanted to make a system where the AI would select or pick a behavior or logic based on the current situation of the game and the difficulty level that the player selected. And as a beginner, I was absolutely thrilled to see what this game would result into. But the stakes were really high, and I didn't really know where to even start. And I will say this: doing this game was kind of the best decision I took so early in my career. It took me 5 months to make it, and I did a lot of R&D, took a lot of iterations, and a lot of effort went into this game. But it completely changed my approach and how I handle the projects even now. And I'm still doing my current projects with the same mindset of doing something new and kind of achieving something that I didn't do before. So yeah. So the way I started this game is by doing a lot of research on the game itself. Like I read a lot of documents and a lot of papers on how to win the game, or how the players basically play the game. So there are a lot of ways of basically approaching this particular game, and the easiest one I found is called chaining, and I decided that I'll make my AI follow this simple method. A chain is basically a chain of boxes which can be claimed by a player when the other player initiates that chain. So this way the player basically gets the score in a really faster way. So there are ways in which you can control these chains to your advantage, and I basically made my AI to adapt to a situation and control the chains to win the game. Alright, let's expand on the AI a little more. Basically the game can be categorized into two phases, and the AI will basically pick a particular behavior as per the phase and the difficulty level. Once a difficulty level is selected, the AI is initialized with the behaviors that it has to use basically. And once a phase is completed and the AI behavior has done its work, it exits itself, and the AI player basically assigns another behavior to the AI for the next phase. Alright, let's look at the phases now. Phase 1. It's the first phase, and it basically ends when there are no more boxes of score 2, and box score is nothing but the number of lines it has around it. And in this phase, the strategy is not really important. AI basically picks a random box that has a score of less than 2, and draws a line around it. Phase 2. This phase starts at the end of the first phase and basically ends at the end of the game. So in this phase, the controlling of the chains thing comes into the picture. The easy AI will initiate the first chain that it finds. Problem is that there is no priority in which chain it should initiate, so the player can take advantage of this particular thing. The medium AI will initiate the smallest chain possible, so that the player will only claim that small chain, and the bigger chains it can take later. So the easy AI problems are fixed, right? Well, not really. There's another method where you can get even more boxes than this priority chaining, and it's called sacrificial chaining. The hard AI sacrifices the last two boxes so that the player can claim those two boxes, and it will initiate the next chain so that the AI can claim the next chain again. So once I established what the AI is gonna be, then I moved on to making the class structure of the game. I had a level setter class to arrange the level based on the grid type selected, a button manager class to manage all the boxes and buttons. It also kept track of the chains, a box class for the boxes to keep track of their scores, a gameplay manager to swap players or give an extra move to the player that claimed a box, and lastly an AI manager to manage the AI behaviors and logic. Uh, it feels all solid till here, right? But what I didn't tell you really is the performance of the AI. It took around 3 to 5 seconds for the AI to calculate a move and then place it, which was not really efficient. But the main problem, which I didn't realize back then, is handling of data. So every time a line is placed, what the AI used to do is it used to clear the whole old data and calculate the new data again, and then calculate a move and then place it. So it took a lot of time to do this whole process. So back then I didn't really realize, I didn't really know how to actually tackle this problem, so I dropped the project and moved on. 2 years later I picked up the project again, but this time I had the experience with me, so I understood the pain point, and I basically changed the way the data handling happens. So what I did is I calculated a lot of static data beforehand, before the game even started, and basically reduced the load on the AI in real time. This worked wonders, and the AI was so snappy and so quick that I literally had to add a delay of 0.5 seconds to the game so that it feels like a game, and AI doesn't just put a line as soon as you place a line, like draw a line. I also cleaned up the code a little bit and restructured the classes, and then divided the responsibilities even better than before. Alright, fast forward to the present. I have a great prototype and it works really good, it works really fast, and there are no bugs, but the problem is that it doesn't really look good. It doesn't really spark my ass to play the game, so I decided I'll give it a bit of a twist. So all the Dots and Boxes games in the Play Store look like how a classic Dots and Boxes game or a classic game is supposed to look. So what I decided is that I'm going to reskin this game into a fantasy medieval ruins styled look and add some atmosphere to this board game. Yes, I'm not sure if this is a great idea or anything, because I'm not sure if a general board game player even thinks about how a game looks or anything, but I'm just doing it because I wanted to do it. I wanted to pick up pixel art and actually make a game on it. So that's the main reason. And I haven't done pixel art or any art for that matter till now, so this is gonna be a first time for me. So if you would like to see my journey in how I make this game to an awesome game, or it might even turn into a complete disaster, whatever the case, if you want to follow my journey, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I will be posting devlogs on this game whenever I hit a milestone. So yeah, that's one thing. Also, I have posted a link to the demo of the game in the description, so if you want to check that out, please do it. And thank you guys. See you in the next video.